Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ty and this is Reality Table Talk. Now y'all, I'm usually here to share my thoughts and opinions on the latest episodes of the reality shows we all love to watch. But tonight I am here with the hot take for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. Y'all, I just had to come on and film tonight because what I just learned, it's crazy. So y'all, Portia Williams recently started a YouTube channel following this season and all of the drama that ensues on it. And she filmed her first episode this Sunday, I'm sure in anticipation for all of the drama and the mess that took place during this last episode, episode 5. And y'all, she left us some crumbs. She spilled a little bit of tea. She spilled a little bit of something else, literally. If you haven't watched her episodes, go ahead over to Portia for Real. That's the name of her YouTube channel, and check them out. So y'all, she split that episode up into 2 different videos. The first half, I believe, came out on Sunday or Monday, and the second half came out today. And boy, oh boy, what we learned today, woo-wee. So y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and get to the heart of it because I'm not going to keep y'all here for long. She kind of went over what happened in the dinner. She went a little bit more in depth about what happened at Angela Oakley's dinner. She did say that a lot of what happened, the argument between Brit and Kenya, was edited out, but there was a lot of back and forth and it went on for quite some time, much longer than what we saw, which of course it's a show. It's going to be edited. A lot of things are going to be edited out. We already know this, but things went on a lot longer than what we saw before they all walked out and before those veiled threats were made towards Kenya by Brit. But the information that we got about this grand opening, grand closing of Kenya Moore's hair spa, woo, 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 woo. So Portia says that the person that gave Kenya the information about Brit, kind of like the backstory, the dirt about the X-rated pics that were shown at the grand opening, that information was given to her by somebody that is currently on the cast. She also mentioned that somebody on the cast went to production several times to try to get Kenya fired. Now, the context of that wasn't really clear. She didn't really say if that happened before or after this incident at the hair spa or before or after the incident at the dinner. But allegedly it did happen. She did not name names. So that led me to kind of go down the rabbit hole here and think, like, who could it be? Who on the cast was trying to get Kenya fired? And who on the cast gave this dirt to Kenya about Brit? So I got to thinking, y'all, how would Portia know for sure that the person that gave Kenya the information is still on the show? How would she know that unless perhaps she was there when the conversation took place, or if she and Kenya were still in such a really, really good place that Kenya disclosed this information to her, or that the person that disclosed the information gave it to Portia herself. So y'all, before I get into that piece, I just want to say I had a hot take about the dinner and about who wrote the question to Kenya asking if she could be nice to Brit and speak nicely to her and kindly to her with respect. And a lot of Team Twirl was out here saying that it was Brit. Now, Brit denied this during the episode. We saw it at the dinner. She said, I did not write this question. I swear I didn't write it. And I believed her. The question that I thought she wrote was the one that was read before to Kenya from, I believe that was Drew, that asked, why are you so concerned about other people's men and blah, 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 blah. I believe that question came from Brit. The reason that I believe that came from Brit, and I hate to say this because I do kind of like Brit, but the reason that I think that came from Brit was because of the grammar. Sorry, Brit, but I do. That's what I've always thought. I never ever thought she wrote the question about herself. I thought that maybe either Kelly or Angela may have written that question, because we saw earlier in that episode where Brit and Angela were speaking to each other in the park, and Brit was talking to Angela about her issues with Kenya. So I thought it could have been Angela because of that, or Kelly because Kelly was Brit's ride or die in this episode. But I had just a strong feeling that it was Angela, and come to find out, it was Angela. Word on the street is that it was Angela. I believe she may have mentioned this in the episode last week, episode 5. Y'all, there was so much happening in that episode, I may have overlooked it, but it's come out that she did write that question. So with that just gut feeling that I had, decided to go off of my gut feeling again tonight when I came to the conclusion that I came to about who gave Kenya this information. Let me take a sip. Let me take a sip here before I get into it. Swirl it around. So again, I had to think, was this information disclosed during a conversation that Portia was present for? So after Angela's dinner at the bank, we see Portia drive away with Kenya and with Shamia. Now, Portia says that, Kenya did make some comments about how Brit needs to get off the show. She needs to be gone. And we heard that on the hot mic after they pulled off. But Portia says that they continued kind of chit-chatting, kikiing, laughing, whatever, having a good time. And then they dropped Kenya off that night. Now, Shamia was also in the car. And I know that Shamia is close with Candy and that whole group of friends that she hangs with. So that would be Tiny. That would be Rashida from Love and Hip Hop. That would be Monyetta Shaw. That would be, I guess, that other light-skinned girl that was at the grand opening, grand closing. That was at that shit show of a grand opening at Kenya's hair spa. The one with the nose ring, I don't know what her name is. But it includes those girls. It also includes Ming Lee. And there was speculation that Ming Lee was the person that had provided Kenya the information. Ming Lee came out and said that no, it was not her. But we know that Ming Lee dated Ricky Rose, Rick Ross, and so did Brit. And it's also come to my attention that the timeline between when Ming Lee dated Rick Ross and when Brit dated Rick Ross, it was about a year apart. So it was also speculation that Ming Lee was the one that leaked that information to Kenya, because Ming Lee was supposed to have been on this season for the Real Housewives of Atlanta and didn't make the cut, apparently, supposedly, allegedly, because Brit got her peach instead. So the speculation, the rumors going around was that Ming Lee may have been feeling some type of way about this, and in retaliation provided Kenya this information. But again, Ming came out and said that she did not do this. And I believe that. I truly believe that. So I started going through the cast thinking, Cynthia? No way in hell. Cynthia would never, ever do that to Kenya. Drew's got a lot going on in her life already. And I didn't really see Drew and Kenya kicking it like that on camera. So perhaps Kelly? Who knows? Shamia? Initially, I said, no way in hell. No way in hell. Y'all know Shamia is my favorite. And for me to think it was her breaks my heart. Because I rock with Shamea. I do. I don't know this lady personally. I don't know her. I love what I've seen of her on the show this season. She, to me, just seemed like such a genuine, down-to-earth, real-ass person that would never do anything like that. But again, she was in the car with Portia and Kenya when Portia took Kenya home after that dinner. And Kenya was feeling some type of way, right, about the veiled threats that were made towards her. She said that Brit needed to go. And so they could have been in the car kikiing, chit-chatting, gossiping about some things that Shamea may have been privy to about Brit, maybe through her friend group. And maybe she, in the chit-chat and the gossip, disclosed some of this information to Kenya. Kenya may have went ahead and got her private investigator, got the details, went to Staples or Kinko's or wherever the hell she went to make up these poster boards, find these pictures, make up these poster boards, blow these pictures up all up out of hell, and show them and display them to everybody at her grand opening. Now, another thing about these photos that's come out here recently, was that Brit may have been underage in these photos. She may have been a minor. So that would lend to what happened with Kenya being let go from the show this season, for the rest of the season. You play shitty games, you win shitty prizes, right? There you go. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There you go. But I also thought about Kelly. Now, Kelly and Brit, bosom buddies. Literally, I call them the titty twins. Kelly appears to ride very hard for Brit. And as a matter of fact, she left the grand opening, I think even before the third poster board with the photos of Brit allegedly underage giving fellatio were displayed. She was out. But then also with the tidbit of information that Portia put out there about somebody trying to get Kenya fired from the show or removed from the show. So y'all, if this was after that whole situation at the Harris Ball, I could see it being Kelly. Even though they appeared to be becoming fast friends, she and Kenya, I could see Kelly in trying to be a great friend to Brit, protecting her friend, and just really disapproving of what Kenya did at that grand opening. I could see her possibly going to production, trying to get Kenya kicked off. And maybe also covering her back a little bit if she was the one to release this information. Maybe she was trying to protect herself. Maybe she was trying to cover up her tracks and didn't want it to come out, at least not during filming, that she was the one who leaked this information to Kenya. And if getting Kenya kicked off the show was a way to prevent it from coming out, it's a win-win situation. She looks like she's protecting her friend, like she's got her friend's back, but she's also covering her own ass, right? Again, y'all, this is just a hot take. Now, Team Twirl, please do not come for me. Y'all have been coming for me hard since my last review on episode 5. I get it. Y'all love Kenya. Kenya can do no wrong in y'all's world. Kenya is to y'all as Dennis is to Drew. Her savior, her lifeline, her angel, Jesus. I get it, y'all. I get it. But this is just a reality show, and even our favorites can do wrong. Again, Shamea, every single episode, I've been like, yes, Shamea, you are my girl. I love you. Never had. Like, I've been playing that song on repeat. But I've also learned in my 44 years, almost 45 years on this earth, you cannot put anything past anybody. But I feel like it's going to play out throughout the rest of the season, or we'll get some more tea, possibly from Portia on her YouTube channel, or maybe from some of these other housewives. Y'all, let's see. Now, y'all, let's agree to disagree and be respectful about what we state down in the comments. And I really want y'all to continue to engage in the comments. This channel is for everybody. I welcome everybody to this channel. Team Twirl, Team Non-Twirl, you know, the ED squad. I welcome all of y'all. But let's just keep it respectful in the comments. Y'all, let me know what your thoughts are. What's your take on this new tea, on this new information that we just found out? Do y'all think it's Shamia? Do you think it's Kelly? Who do you think leaked this information to Kenya? Y'all, comment down below. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And with that, y'all, stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to tell somebody that you love them today, even if it's just yourself.